Welcome to another episode of AI Talks with Chris and Nita. And today we are doing a deep dive into learning agents in AI.
Learning agents.
So we've talked a lot about different AI, and we've talked about how AI works, a lot of it with like fixed rules and all that stuff.
Right.
So what are learning agents?
So a learning agent in AI, it's basically a system that can learn and adapt from experience.
Okay.
Which is a big difference from like traditional AI systems that just follow pre-programmed rules, like you were just saying.
Right.
So they basically interact with their environment, they gather information, and they change their behavior to get better at whatever their goal is.
So it's kind of like a more dynamic AI.
Exactly. It's AI that's actually evolving and learning over time.
Okay, so like the AI that we've been talking about before that's not evolving.
Well, it's not evolving in the same way. It might be getting updated with new data or new rules.
Right.
But a learning agent is actually changing its own behavior based on its own experiences.
So it's learning from its mistakes.
Exactly. Learning from its successes and its mistakes.
Okay, that's interesting. So then how does this learning actually work?
So there's like 6 key components that make up a learning agent.
6 key components.
Yeah. It sounds like a lot, but it's actually pretty intuitive when you break it down.
Okay, let's hear it.
So first you got your sensors, or sometimes called perceptors. They're how the agent gets information from its environment. Like for a self-driving car, that might be cameras and radar.
So the sensors are kind of like how it perceives the world around it?
Exactly. It's how it sees, hears, feels its surroundings.
Got it. What's next?
Okay, so then you have the critic. And the critic's job is to evaluate how well the agent is doing based on its goals.
So is it like giving feedback?
Exactly. It's saying, hey, you're doing good, or, you need to change something up.
So is it like a reward system?
It can be, yeah. Like a positive or negative reinforcement kind of thing.
Okay.
So then all that information from the sensors and the critic goes to the learning element.
So this is where it like actually learns.
This is where the magic happens.
Yeah.
It uses all that data, and it uses like machine learning algorithms to figure out what's working and what's not.
It's like the brains of the operation.
Exactly.
Okay, what's next?
All right, so now we come to the performance element.
Performance element.
Yeah, this is the part that decides what the agent should actually do.
Okay.
It takes what the learning element has figured out, and it uses that to choose actions. Like if the agent's goal is to win a game, it'll pick the moves that are most likely to lead to victory.
So it's like strategizing.
Exactly.
Based on what it's learned.
Exactly.
Okay, so then how does it actually do stuff?
Well, that's where the actuators come in.
Actuators.
Yeah, they're like the agent's arms and legs. They're the parts that actually carry out the action.
Okay.
So for a robot, that might be like motors and gears.
Right.
For a software agent, it might be sending commands to a computer system.
So it's like the physical manifestation of what the agent is doing.
Right.
Okay, so we've got 5 of the 6 components. What's the last one?
Okay, last but not least, you have the problem generator.
Problem generator, what does that do?
Well, it kind of throws curveballs at the agent.
So is it like making things harder?
Not exactly. It's more like creating new and interesting situations for the agent to learn from. It helps the agent explore different possibilities and become more robust.
Okay, so it's not trying to sabotage the agent.
No, it's helping it grow and learn in different ways.
Okay, so it's like making sure the agent can handle different situations.
Right. Like for a chess-playing AI, the problem generator might come up with unusual openings or strategies.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it's basically making sure the agent doesn't become complacent.
Right. Always got to keep it on its toes. So we talked about the components. How does this learning process actually happen?
So it's kind of a cycle. It goes perceive, learn, act, over and over.
Okay, so break it down.
So first, the perceive phase. The agent uses its sensors to gather information about its environment, like what's happening around it.
Okay.
Then comes the learn phase. The agent takes that information and analyzes it using those machine learning algorithms we talked about. It starts to see patterns, it figures out relationships, it basically builds up its knowledge.
So it's like connecting the dots.
Exactly.
Then what?
Then the act phase. The agent takes what it's learned and decides on an action. This is where the performance element comes in.
So it's using its newfound knowledge to make a decision.
Right. And then the cycle repeats. The agent perceives the results of its actions, learns from them, and acts again. It's constantly refining its behavior based on experience.
So it's like a never-ending loop of learning and improving.
Exactly. And that's what makes learning agents so powerful. They're not limited by what they're initially programmed with. They can keep evolving and adapting to new challenges.
So this is pretty groundbreaking stuff, right? Like this is a whole new level of AI.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it has the potential to change so many things.
Absolutely.
Like imagine self-driving cars that are constantly getting better at navigating traffic.
Or robots that can learn to perform complex tasks in factories.
Or personalized learning systems that adapt to each student's needs. The possibilities are really endless.
It's really exciting to think about where this could lead.
It definitely is. We're still in the early stages, but learning agents have the potential to revolutionize so many aspects of our lives.
Well, I'm excited to see what the future holds for learning agents.
Me too.
It's been fascinating learning about them today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really fascinating field.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
This has been AI Talks
with Chris and Nita.
We'll see you next time.